Last week's show was fun, wasn't it, Peter?
It was, and she had all her fingers.
Why we count them? I don't remember counting them.
I did count them, yeah. Boy, I loved that melted glass and some of the techniques using the paper towel for the distributing the paint.
I know 12 artists. I'm going to buy a 12-pack of paper towels and just give them each one.
If you wrap it, it could be a good Christmas gift.
That's my plan.
Anyways, it's our privilege to have Dawna Isham back, who will talk more about her art and some of the new techniques. Also, too, she's told me she's going to talk about how she's dealt with some of the fear moving forward, getting her stuff out into a gallery. I think she's got some great advice.
Sounds great.
Please welcome back, Dawna.
Jazz hands.
I hate the wave. I don't do it at ball games. I'm not doing it here.
Go, Dawna!
It's done turn right now.
So Dawna came all this way
Hi,
this
guys.
week again.
All 10 steps downstairs from the upstairs.
To join us on the third chair. So we're
Thank
lucky
you.
to have Dawna because she's the only normal one on the show.
As a matter of
That
fact,
is
in
true.
the
With
entire
There is
question
so much
that at
respect.
the last episode.
Well, at least the most normal on the sound stage portion of this.
So how long have you been doing like artwork? Since you were a kid. I mean,
Right.
when did you fall in love with art?
Apparently, since I was 2 years old. It's a cute little story. My mom loves to tell this story. She says that I was drawing dresses for my dolls when I was 2.
Well, you had it all planned out.
She said that I would concentrate so hard that I would stick my tongue out. And as soon as she saw me doing that, she'd run around the house and tell everybody, "Shh, artist at work, everybody be quiet."
Do you still stick your tongue out?
I don't think so. I bite my lip sometimes. The lower lip, but
Sometimes when I'm concentrating, I stick my tongue out, and my wife tells me to put it in, and I said, Michael Jordan always stuck his tongue out. And he never bit it, and he was on a basketball
Oh my
court.
gosh. No, I do bite my lip, though. I noticed that. But
And he's got $100 million net worth. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So in all honesty, she said she always saw it. I think for me, the first time that I realized I was good at it or that I loved it was when I was in junior high. I happened to do a picture of, believe it or not, a snowy mountain in a circle. And it had pine trees, blue pine trees. No, this was in junior high.
Yeah, but it was similar painting.
No, it wasn't similar. It was
Well,
totally different. It was
of
all
the
it was
same
all
subject
pencil.
matter.
But this picture ended up in the principal's office, and he loved it so much that he bought it from me.
Oh, wow.
And then he became our principal in high school, and he literally brought that picture to the high school with him. So I got to see that picture for 6 years of my life. That's when my teacher was so excited about it that's when I realized, okay, I am really pretty good at this stuff.
So we've heard some stories about teachers discouraging students. It's nice to hear one.
Been there.
But it's nice to hear one about
that was good. I mean, when I was in high school, I had a great art teacher for most of the time. I had one that, I don't know if we want to go there, but I had a great art teacher in high school.
Not as positive?
Not at all.
Yeah.
I can tell you the story, but I'll start with the first one. The good teacher, he actually took a couple of my pieces and put them in art shows.
Nice.
Because he was
wow.
impressed with them, and I sold a couple. So, yeah, even in high
nice.
school, it was great. I took one art class with a teacher that was actually a math teacher, but he was doing an art class because they were short and they needed extra help. And I kid you guys not, everything I turned into him came back to me with a D or an F on it.
Oh, my goodness.
Everything. And so I told him I was going to drop the class because I told him I thought he was wrong. And he sent me to the head art teacher, which is the one that I loved. And he asked him to grade my stuff. And he came back with B's and A's on everything. And so I ended up dropping the class. And honestly, my senior year of high school, I wasn't going to do art anymore. I was so heartbroken from this guy.
That's kind of sad.
And the head art teacher actually came to my house that summer and sat down with me and my parents and talked about it and got me to go ahead and continue the art. And I actually was an independent study at that point. So I wasn't really in a class. I just went to the classroom when I wanted to do my work. So you know, so I had the option to not do it, but he really talked me into it and pushed it. And then I got to see him when I was in college because he was friends with my college teacher. So he was in my life for quite a long time.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
you know, it's good to have a
Right.
mentor like that.
And thank God he came and talked to me because, you know, if it wasn't for that, I probably would have given up on it.
Yeah, you might have become an auditor.
Just because of one teacher, you know.
Yeah.
And he
it's
never
kinda
explained.
sad.
He never explained why he graded me so low on everything. It didn't make any sense.
You know, my brother, he didn't drop the class, but he didn't do a second class at a high school because of be the same teacher, and then he became an art major. So
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of like, okay, I don't care what you think. I'm just gonna go
Right.
major in art. You know, and so
Well, it's great when people have that sort of fortitude to do that, but some
but
people
they-
are just like so turned off by, you know, teachers. You know, it's not just teachers. Sometimes it's parents,
Right.
church people, you know, sports figures.
Oh,
can-
you could
say
say the
horrible
wrong thing to
things, yeah.
somebody and just knock them out. And,
Yeah.
without realizing what damage you're doing.
but,
Yeah.
but sometimes sports figures, if they if you're not a good basketball player, you might as well try something different because
Right.
Yeah.
if you want to play in college, because they're pretty fast. Like you're gone on the first day if they don't like
Right.
you.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, I'm not an artist. If someone was evaluating my art and they said, you know, Peter, your art is not very good, I wouldn't be devastated. I mean, it's just the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
It's when you know you're making something that's unique and wonderful and someone's saying it sucks, there's a cognitive dissonance that
But, you
occurs
know,
in people.
The interesting thing about art and like music, you know, is you got to give the different things. Like you experiment with different ways of doing art, you know, and you gotta get, if it's different to you, you can't just judge it right away. You gotta take a step back and rethink it and see what the artist was trying to do.
Well, and you know, I understand everybody has opinions, and you can like something and you can hate something, and that's okay. But I felt like I was truly being personally attacked for one reason I don't know. I mean, I never got higher than a D on any piece I turned into him, and I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, and to see your artwork, it's kind of like either he didn't understand it, or you know, I just learned you never don't like a wine, you just don't understand it.
Right.
And it probably is similar in art because you probably don't like an art. You probably don't understand where the artist is going with
And you know,
some of it.
when you're in high school, you've got the people that take the class for the easy A. They think it's
Yeah.
going to be an easy A. And I don't know if people thought that I was doing that, even though I was completely serious about my art. But, you know, who knows?
Well, sometimes people that have failed miserably at art go on to become art critics, and they can be vicious.
Right.
You know, when they can't do it, and they know they can't do it. You know, and so.
Right.
So you tried different techniques and mediums. What are some of your favorites?
Right now, it's that whole paper towel thing. I mean, putting a
You like playing
seriously-
with the paper towels?
Seriously, putting a lot of paint on the glass and just moving a paper towel around with it. It's kind of cool what comes out with it.
Is your husband happy? Because paper towels are cheap.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is like,
Ask him.
I'm still going for the cat technique. I still won't do it.
but
No, I mean-
is that what you want for Christmas? Is like
No. Please
12 pack of paper towels from
Well, I'm getting off cheap for this Christmas.
No.
Costco.
I mean, in all honesty, I'm really enjoying playing with colors, lots of colors. You know, and just different ways of painting it.
So
I really am
you're kind of
enjoying it.
experimenting.
Right.
It's
And
experimental.
I get on these little kicks. Like I was on the trees for a while, and then I was like, okay, let's do selfies for a while, and then I moved on to silhouettes for a while, you know. So I'm doing a bunch of different things and just trying them out. And then I get an idea, and I'm like, okay, let's do this one.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, there's never just one technique that I'm like, I'm stuck on this one.
Do you remember the thing where you put the pen in and you made circles?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, I forget what
And
it's
it made
called.
all
Was
those
it-
designs?
Yeah, wasn't that
Yeah.
Etch-a-Sketch? I forget what it's called, but
I don't remember what it was called.
really
either.
cool way to
Yeah, I
do.
remember.
All you did was roll,
Yeah,
turn the
you
thing,
set
and it
up
did all the
different things.
work.
Yeah, did all the work.
that was
yeah.
the only way I could make decent art.
Yeah,
It was not a pretty sight. And we're going to talk more about art when we come back.
Okay, sounds like a
Alright.
plan. We had a crisis. I stole the questions.
It was like the time that Lisa stole the answer books from the teachers in The Simpsons. It was.
Don't watch The Simpsons.
yeah.
Not my thing.
Do you have any shows or exhibitions coming up?
So I have 5 pieces that are hanging in a coffee shop right now. The gallery is actually called the Peak Gallery, and it's
Actually, by the time this airs,
Yeah.
they won't be there anymore.
yeah, probably not.
But you got them there.
But yeah, they got there, and this was the first time that I actually did a call for artists and put my work out there. So this is new to me, and it's exciting, and it's fun, and I'm just basically trying to get my name out there right now, get it seen at the most.
Was this a sense of growth for you personally to
Big
do
time.
this? Because it's kind of scary.
It's extremely scary.
Because people are going to judge your work that you...
Right. It's extremely scary to push it out there, I think. When I did it with just friends and family, and they were like, oh, that's so cute, and I love that, and that's one thing. But when you're putting it out there for people to judge you, it becomes nerve-wracking. But, I'm excited. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, your art is hanging down there with other works.
Right. And then I got to meet other artists because of it, and my curator for this one is also an artist, and he's actually going to be on a show as well with you guys. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun, but
I'm following him on
it's
Instagram
scary.
too.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Did it get hacked?
Peter's name dropping again.
Yes, he is. No, he didn't get hacked.
Oh, good.
Good for him.
Yeah. That's not fun when you're that.
But like I said, I do have some pieces that I want to put in an upcoming Call for Artists show. And then I have a venue that I've been talking to, and their curator and I need to get together and chit-chat a little bit more now that she's done with one of her first Friday showings, so that we can discuss what's going to happen there. But hopefully I can get into the venue and just do a single show by myself with her.
An entire show.
Right.
Nice.
Right. Fingers crossed.
So how do you prepare for these shows and stuff like that?
Obviously you got to prepare your art for it. You got to make sure that it's hangable, that they have specifics on what they want. So you got to do that. But for me, I don't know. It's not so much me preparing for it, other than making sure the art's ready for it. The harder part is getting to that point. It's putting yourself out there and talking to these people. You have to be aggressive. If you want your art to be seen, you got to be aggressive, and you got to get out there and say, this is who I am, this is what I do. Shove it in their faces for them to see it.
But isn't there an element too that the curator wants to look at your style and all your different pieces to see what he thinks might fit?
So some do. I'm finding some of them don't. Some of them just say bring it in, which is interesting because I'm like, wouldn't you want to see it first?
So
it
they
just
want you
depends.
just to bring it in so they...
Right. Or like this one that I just did recently, it was email conversation, and he saw the pictures on email and chose what he wanted from there.
Oh, okay, but
Right.
that makes...
Right. So just they all do it a little bit differently. But like I said, you got to be aggressive and put yourself out there, and if you want to be an artist, you got to push.
Yeah, because there's a lot of art out there. You walk in this city. We had a tattoo artist who also did murals on Platte, which is a major street
Right.
in this town, and and so you see art there. We got little statues downtown.
Oh yeah,
And
the butterflies. I don't know if you guys saw the butterflies, but Sophia that was on here, she did a whole garden of butterflies.
Wow.
And it's really cool.
And I think other cities are doing that, but I mean, so there's plenty of opportunities, but you got to get yourself out there
Right.
because there's a lot.
You got to
of
get out and
artists.
talk, because if you don't, they're not going to notice you.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Instagram is very helpful too.
Yeah,
I get galleries that follow me maybe once a week. I get a new gallery, which is really exciting. Really exciting. But you could, you just got to get it out there.
But the other thing though is they get busy and they might not have as much time to look. So,
Exactly.
they're seeing you at different times,
Right.
and they say, "Oh yeah, who's that lady who was there like 3 days ago?"
Right.
I liked a couple of her pieces. You know, or that would fit in this show.
Right.
2 of her pieces. Yeah. Something like that. So yeah, you gotta get out there.
Are you gonna make prints or postcards or things like that?
I kind of
Little
feel
buttons.
Yeah, I kind of feel like painting on glass. It's kind of hard to do prints because they're pretty much see through and whatnot.
I don't know. I assume you take a picture to make a print. I don't know.
Yeah,
how.
I mean you can. I don't know if I want to do that.
They have a little lithography.
Yeah.
You
Is
can
that
make
what they
prints. That's what my brother was his master's degree in.
Lithography.
Lithograph and stuff.
I mean, I just thought when an artist sells a print, they're taking a high quality digital picture,
Yeah, I
making
just
a print.
Well,
for that.
what he did was lithography, and then you make like 50 copies, and then you number them.
Right.
And
Yeah,
they're all
yeah,
originals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just want to stick with the originals and not do prints. I want people to be more excited to buy another one from me than, oh, we can buy this.
Because
And
it's a unique medium.
Right.
I mean, the glass.
Right.
Makes it
And
unique, and it's.
On a print, it just doesn't come out the same. I mean, even in the pictures, it doesn't come out the same.
Sure.
When you look at it, for real, compared to what you saw on Instagram, it definitely is brighter. It shows up
Oh
differently.
yeah, of course. But I've noticed though that some artists seem to be really want to hold on to their originals. It's like their little
I know.
baby, It's like, I'll give you a print, but you can't take my baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a hard thing to do, is to let go of your art.
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean,
Is there a painting?
because you like every piece you do, and then you're like, oh, this looks so good in my living room. I really want to give it
Is
up.
there a painting if someone came in and said, I'll give you $10,000 for this painting. Is there one in the house that you have done that you say, no, I can't do that?
No.
Yeah.
No, I would let them have it. I mean, now granted, if somebody said, hey, I'm only going to give you $100 for this one, there's a few that I'd be like, no, you're going to up the price on that, or we're not going to do this.
So $100.
Because there's a couple, like the one that we were talking about with the teardrops, that I called them Riding the Storm. Or Facing the Storm. I can't remember what I called it now. That one is extremely personal to me. Because it's me fighting my own storms. And because of that, I would want more than what I think people would want to think about on that one.
But
We would have to really negotiate it.
But isn't that
We
a
had an
problem?
artist I think she said, she wouldn't take $10,000 for one of her paintings because it meant that much to her.
Yeah.
I just say right now that I have done no paintings that I would not sell for $10,000.
Peter, stick figures do not count as paintings. They're
Yeah,
just
You know what, Peter? I don't think I have any painting I've done that exists at this time. I think they all were destroyed after. I didn't take art in high school, so after junior high, I think they're all gone missing.
And we've
since
all
then.
played Jackbox, and we know how the rest of us draw.
That is
Oh,
very
yeah.
true.
But
My outlook on it though is that I'm doing this for people to enjoy it. I'm not doing it just for me, and I can always paint some more. I can always do more.
but
So I don't mind selling it.
We joke about 10,000, but on the other side of that, if a canvas is $100 and oil paints are very expensive and it takes 30 hours, even if you pay yourself only $15 an hour, just to kind of break even and make minimum wage, you're selling her for $500.
Right.
You know, and so
Yeah.
even the idea of a high price really isn't that
Right.
high.
If you got
Right.
$500 for the painting, you still would be taking a loss because there's
Yeah.
other things that happen.
Well, and I
you have to
personally,
do.
I mean, for me, but I've talked to other artists too, and I know it's hard to price your art.
Mhm.
It's hard for you to go, okay, I think this is worth this much, when, you know, other people might look at it and say, no, it's only worth this much. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it because, you know,
You want to be reasonable, but you want to make money, but, you know, you're like, but God, this one means so
Paintings.
much to me. It means more, that you need to pay more. And it's a hard thing to do, to price your work.
Yeah. And on that note, we
take
will return to this priceless episode
Bye again.
when we come right back. Hi, Peter and Doug here from The Third Chair. We're looking for a win-win situation. We want to keep these videos put up on a weekly basis, and we want to help you succeed with your business adventure.
And we've brought up as a show a lot of important issues that people are interested in, and we brought up a lot of local actors and artists and bringing them forward, which helps them as well as our audience members in finding some of these things.
So there is an email on the screen. Send us a note if you're interested in knowing about some of our sponsorship packages. Welcome back to the Third Chair.
Well, coming last week. Yeah, it's the third one this week.
Third
The
one
third
was-
one.
Yeah, we haven't worked that hard this week.
Yeah, worked that hard this week. Yeah, so we are the Third Chair. I'm Peter. That's Doug. We're here with Dawna,
Hello again.
Isham, artist, and we've been talking about the challenges of letting go of a painting you love and like setting a price. I mean, you have to have quite a bit of discretionary income to be able to go and like buy some of this stuff.
Right.
It's not cheap.
Right.
You know, I was talking to a guy once, and he says, "You know, I see all these $1,000 paintings," and he said, "Only time I fell in love with a painting was I saw this guy painting, and I paid him $25 in Paris for his drawing, and he says, I love that drawing." Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I know. This is the, you know, but you know, it happened to me in Italy. They had these horse carvings, and one of the horses looked so majestic to me, and it was 35 euros.
Right.
You know, and I bought that. I was saying, I usually don't like look at art and say, "Ooh, I really want that," but someone that horse caught me, and it was 35.
Which is funny because your wife is totally opposite of you. She looks at art and says, I want all of it.
I know.
Go get a second job.
That has permanently restricted her from art shows.
No, she goes to them.
Yeah, she does.
But
Well,
we
I
have
would-
to be careful around her.
well, I
But
was.
see, you guys are special because you got one from me free, so.
See?
Yeah.
Well, there's a bill in the mail, though.
Yeah.
No, it's been a few
Well,
years.
that reminds me of an art show story. I was in Kenya at a Maasai tribe. You know, they're all like about 12 feet tall. And I was looking at painted shields and painted spears and carvings. And I was surrounded, and they wouldn't let me out of this market. And on the trip, there's this other nurse who came in and said, "Leave my husband alone." It wasn't my wife. She was there, but and she grabbed me and dragged me out of there because they were so intent on selling me
Okay.
some artwork. Weren't going to let me leave.
Ah.
I did buy.
I
a
do not
spear.
like going into places and being hounded by people. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to look without pressure.
For sure. So you have, you're on Instagram. Are you, I don't know if fans are the right word, I guess followers, fans, people that are interested. Like, what types of things are you doing, like, to cultivate a fan base, a support base,
Honestly,
an interest base?
all I'm doing is posting I post probably daily at least a picture or
A reel.
a video
Yeah.
or a little story. You know, something along those lines. I at least do that once a day. I follow people. I follow a bunch of people that are artists, and just hope that they follow back, and they do. They do. My account that got hacked, I was actually at almost 300 people
That was pretty
following
fast.
me,
Yeah.
and it really was fast for just a few months. Since I've had to redo the new page, and I've asked a bunch of them to switch over, which has taken a while. I'm only at 130 right now on that one, but then they're following me on my personal Instagram. And I've got 170 on that one.
All right, good.
So I'm trying to get them combined, but they're all scattered, my followers.
So, but you're having some interest. Some people
Right.
struggle to ever get past 100 followers
Right.
or 50 followers.
And it's growing again. I mean, before I got hacked, I think I was averaging 3.5 followers a day that were coming on, but it's okay.
What do you wish now? What do you wish you knew sooner that you know now that you wish you had learned earlier in your artist career?
It's not so much that I wish I learned, it's that I wish that I would have pushed myself sooner. That I would have pushed myself to put it out there. I'm another disclaimer, people, I'm 52 years old. And I mean, I could have been going to galleries and whatnot for years. And I was afraid to.
Fear of, it's kind of a fear of rejection. I mean, you see the same thing. People write a novel and they put the manuscript in a drawer. They never, really common issue that artists have to deal with. A little bit different.
I gave this sample on this show before about Orson Welles. He, at the end of his life, he made a movie, filmed a movie, and it was over 5 years, and he never cut it.
See?
He was working on it afterwards for 5 years.
Just never did it.
Yeah.
So go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, I'm really impressed with these younger artists out there that, there's quite a few that I know now. I'm impressed that they're out there and they're pushing and they're getting themselves known.
Was there something that sort of psychologically clicked or something that happened
It was
that made you take that step? Because that's a big deal.
It was okay. So honestly, you guys all know that I hear your interviews when you're interviewing, or your pre-interviews when you're talking to different artists and whatnot.
Pre-production
And
meetings.
some of them I've sat in on, and
you're
it's
always
honestly it's talking to the other artists and finding out how they have gotten themselves out there that really pushed me. One in
And
particular.
disclaimer, when we're talking about tacos, she's the one that made the tacos.
That's me.
Yeah, but you've
Some
done
of the
chili.
A lot of the other good
Spaghetti.
Yeah. Just in case people are wondering what we're talking about, when we have guests on the show, if it's possible, we have a dinner together, a meal together to talk about people's backgrounds and what's important to them. We just find that sort of element in society is maybe not emphasized as much as it could. And it's
It
good to
helped
good
us
effect.
develop questions and start a rapport with
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's been a good practice for us.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was one in particular that was talking about how her Instagram pushed her, got her name out there, and I was like, well, heck, why am I not doing that? And not only that, but I prayed to God, and God said, look, you got to do it. If you want it to happen, you got to do it. So it was the combination of those two things that it sparked. And then I put it out there and it just kept going.
How interesting too, sometimes we pray, oh God, do this for us, and he's like, I've already given you everything you need, just go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Go for it, Dawna.
it was literally, what do you want me to do? And all I kept hearing was, you got to do it. You don't have to, follow through. So
Wow.
I followed through.
No, that's nice. Good for you. That's fantastic.
Right.
That truly is fantastic. So, this is something I find. Do you like to talk about your art?
I do. When people are really interested in it, I do.
I guess that helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to talk about the chili.
I mean, I don't want to talk about it when they're like, "What the heck are you talking about?" You know? But yeah, I do like talking about my art. I
mean, we've had guests on from Cottonwood, and that where some of the people have said it's been an issue for them. I don't like talking about my art.
Right.
I like doing my art. I love my art,
Well-
but I just don't like
Like
put
But
it
we
to
make
words.
them. We make them talk about their art anyways.
like one of your guests, when I went to his show, I asked him, I was like, tell me about this piece. And he was like, nope. He's like, you just figure it out. And I'm like, what? No.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of get
What does
it,
this
but-
mean? What does it mean to you? You know,
Yeah.
well, I want to know what it means to you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't mind talking about it.
Sure. Let me just see here.
He's out of questions.
No, I got yeah.
yeah,
So-
what we're going to talk about in the next segment is your art. So
Yeah, some more. Yeah, so we got just a few seconds here. I know you've done a variety of different kinds of jobs, non-artist jobs. Do any of them give you inspiration for creating a certain kind of art or certain kinds of projects?
Absolutely not. I can honestly say that. No, I have been in the medical field, office medical for, oh my gosh, 27, 30 years now. So I don't find art in the medical field. I just don't.
but don't you see like the blood smeared all around
No,
and say
'cause I don't
that's
see
what
that.
I'm going to do with the painting?
So office
No.
work.
Office work.
Yeah, no, but I would maybe you hear
But no.
stories of suffering or something could be
Yeah.
motivational, but I don't know.
No, honestly, no. I think there was one job. Well, there really was one job. I was trying to sell art, but it was like you said, the lithographs and stuff for a company. And I was a little inspired, by one piece of artwork that I was trying to sell. But other than that, and that only lasted a month or two. I didn't stick with that job.
Very
I'm
good.
not a good salesperson.
Okay, we're going to talk about your own art. when
Oh
we
yeah,
come
your own
back.
art when we come right back. Yeah. Welcome back to the third chair.
We all have
We're-
paintings.
We all have paintings. I'm Peter. That's Doug. This is Dawna.
She has rocks.
Rocks.
No,
Rocks
we are
are-
talking
they look
about
like rocks.
her art and her art techniques, and she's got a most interesting piece. Tell us about that.
So this was another fused piece that broke up in my fuser when I was when I was heating the glass up. And it just, I don't know, when I pulled out all the little pieces, I thought that's kind of cool looking. And I just thought, well, let's put it on a piece of glass and see what we can do with it. And I ended up creating this. There's honestly no paint on this one except for the background has the glitter paint. But this is just all pure glass
Nice.
that just
Oh, wow.
broke apart and melted that way.
But
Now-
they kind of look like rocks. And
Right.
because I like, my wife and I, we love the beauty of rocks. I mean, our yards are is rocks.
Yeah,
It's
this
got a
is
little
this
bit
is
of a
definitely
ladybug
all
feel
glass.
too. Like
You
it
think
looks
like
like you're
with the
looking
red.
The red and the black.
yeah, the red and the
Yeah.
black, yeah.
And I call it bubble flower because to me it reminds me of
Bubble
bubbles.
flower.
Because there's one little flower in there.
Oh wow,
You know?
nice.
But yeah, it was just what do I do with this? And then I threw it on that little piece of glass and was like, well, this is kind of cool.
So the
Looks
black and the red are they glued or fused to the green?
They are fused to the green, and then the green is glued to the glass.
And then the green is glued to the glass. Wow, fantastic.
So yeah, that's all glass. That's all fuse. Fun piece.
And was there any? I mean, I know you're making good of a difficult situation, but when you looked at it, was there some sort of message or something you're trying to
Not
put
at
together?
all. I just thought it
If
looked
it-
really cool.
If it breaks apart, you have lemons, and so you make
Lemonade.
Yeah, a reoccurring
That's the only
theme.
message, yeah.
Yeah, no, it there was really no meaning to it.
Because-
It was just, I mean, honestly, it was looking at it and go, what do I do with this now? Because originally it was supposed to be a glass bowl, the black and the red with the flower in it,
Oh wow!
and it shattered, shattered into pieces.
So
I mean, it broke out of the, because I have a form for it, and it broke out of the form.
So it seems to me, and I don't know if I'm right or not, but that working with a kiln is a little bit more unpredictable.
Completely.
I mean, even if you follow all the rules and heat it for so long and let it cool and do this and do that,
Right.
Things can still go wrong.
Right.
Perhaps a little more than just regularly painting.
Right.
You know, unless
It's
the cat's
always hard to
nearby.
control heat.
It's always
Yeah.
controlled to.
And I
control
mean,
heat.
some pieces come out absolutely the way you want it, and other ones do this. And this was cool.
But it's still good art.
Yeah, it was. I really enjoy this one. And I get a lot of compliments on it, which I think is funny.
Now, if you want to do a lot of glass work, do you have a bigger kiln somewhere that you can go to?
I do know that there's one in town that I think she would fire stuff for us. I've never really asked her. I bet she would, though.
I mean, is
But
there like a rent-a-kiln?
I don't think
or,
that I would ever do something really big when it comes to the glass. I kind of like what I'm doing here.
All right, so smaller projects, and not super small, but still
Right.
something you don't need a giant kiln for.
Right.
Wow, that's fantastic.
That's that one.
Tell us about this one here. This is
Let's switch it.
some interesting. I'm suspecting some paper towel technique on this.
Yes.
and then,
Totally a paper towel background. And then I brushed the tree again with this one. And then this is a glass bead that I turned into a bird.
So
And this was melted in the kiln, so I had this bead for quite a while. I was holding on to it, and it just happened to work for that one.
So that's a
So-
bird on a limb.
Right.
It looks the tree has no leaves, and how does the blue? Is this like a waterfall? Is this?
It's just colors.
It's just colors. Okay.
I
It
did
looks
the
like a waterfall.
It
I
does
did-
kind of look
does
like
it?
a waterfall.
I
yeah.
did the background. Originally, I was trying to see if I could make it look like a sunset type thing. Of course, it didn't turn out quite that way when I did it, but it just looks so cool to me. I actually did the background and I let it dry, and then I decided what I was going to do with it next. What I was going to do with the background. And this side over here just looked perfect for a tree, so I was like, well, let's make that into a tree. Didn't even know what I was really doing with it until I finished it, but I decided to call it Pumpkin Spice Season. So there's a little
fall.
little dilemma there for those people that don't like pumpkin spice. You know,
Who doesn't like?
you either like it or you
doesn't
don't like it.
pumpkin
So
spice?
My wife doesn't like
I mean,
pumpkin spice.
there's a
so-
sense of
our
the-
director
the
does not like
pumpkin-
pumpkin spice.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
has too.
He's got issues. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just
there's the kind of the pumpkin
feel to it. Yeah.
feel. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but you were right. It's definitely the
Your
paper
wife
towel
doesn't
background.
like pumpkin spice.
And look,
No,
when
she
you
doesn't drink coffee.
when you look at the
yeah.
back of it, you can
See?
see how I was trying to do the sunset.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
When I just saw that it hit the light there, when you turned it the other way, I just got a totally different effect.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the like that. It really lights
You
up
know
the
what?
top.
You should put like hangers on both sides, and then people can switch the painting over, and it'll confuse their friends.
Yeah.
They could multiple sides.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how that one came about. And this is my latest one. This is the last one I've done.
Wow. Nice.
Now I've got a large one that I'm working on.
Okay.
This one.
Pretty little flowers.
This one's called First Kiss. Do you see it?
Oh.
First
First
kiss. Oh, there's
So-
like two people there.
Ah, you got it.
Oh, and there's flowers.
Right. So I've never been good at doing flowers. And I started watching a couple people do them online, and I thought, okay, I'm going to try this. And that's where this one came about. Was I actually saw the two people faces together like that, and I thought, well, that's cool. And then when I did that, I was like, well, let's try to do some flowers. So this is honestly the first time. Oh, there's fuzz on it. The first time that I've done flowers, and they turned out looking really decent. So
Nice.
that's all brushwork. There's no major techniques on this one. There's no palette. There's no.
You can see they're gonna open.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was exciting for me, was to be able to do the flowers. And then if you look on my Instagram page, you'll see that selfie picture that I did. That's a whole head of flowers. Once I did these, I went wild.
Was there a special type of flower you're trying to capture there?
Not necessarily. It was more the color.
It was more the color.
More
Yeah,
the
it's
color.
nice, sort of pinkish red.
White. Yep.
Yeah, with a little yellow happy face in the middle.
Right. Happy face in the middle.
Yeah, it's
Happy face.
That's what you think the little yellow dots are?
Yeah,
Little yellow brown dots.
Yeah.
Don't give Peter a marker; he'll start doing one.
He will, I know.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a romantic feel
Now that
to
you
it.
said
Exactly.
that one
Yeah.
doesn't look happy. It looks like it's frowning.
The flower?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you guys.
Now, Peter, you're you're getting too much into detail here.
Yeah, you know why the black for the glass?
That's actually a dark brown.
Why the dark
When you
brown
look-
for the glass? Oh, I
think
see.
when you
Yeah,
look in the light.
Under the light, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
dark brown. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Just because it made it stand out with the silver linings. I wanted to do something dark and something that was different other than the clear glasses that I do.
Nice.
So yeah, just wanted to put some color into it. So that's that one.
Nice.
And then one of my favorites.
This one, I did, like 3-4 years ago. And this was just playing with the colors. I just wanted to see how the colors blended and dripped and moved. And so, honestly, that's what this came out with. It's literally a ball of colors, and then I just moved you see a lot of this online, but
Yeah.
I just moved it around.
I always kind of like stuff like that because it's kind of random, and then you can see things in there.
And then you just see what you get from
Yeah.
it.
It looks like one of those Rorschach drawings
Yeah.
where you show it. What do you see? See, I
I-
kind of see it. I kind of see like a dinosaur head, like a Velociraptor.
It's a chicken dancing at midnight.
Oh my gosh! Wait a minute! Wait.
No.
Let me look in the book.
I don't think that's it. But
Oh
no,
my
this
gosh! You both are crazy.
this was, like I said, it was honestly
And
just
so are you.
playing
You
with
stay with
paint and
us.
color and seeing how it moved and whatnot.
Yeah, boy, nice.
And like I said, you see a bunch of these online, so I just wanted to see how it worked.
So technically, when you do that, do you try and start with how you think the bottom part of the painting is going to look, and then let things from the top drip down?
So it's-
What you've done, or do you start at the top and
It's
let it
kind
drip?
of funny because you think that it would work that way, but in all honesty, the bottom colors disappear when you do this. Like you start off with a black and all of a sudden it's gone. You're like, what happened to the black that I threw in there? So it's really, I don't know, it's really interesting how it works.
It's kind of fun though.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks very deliberate, and yet you're saying it's kind of random.
it was completely random.
Letting things drip, and it looks like you very carefully, like, outline
But there's
parts.
something you said
Well,
and
so
this
is-
interesting that you swear that you did that on purpose.
This is one of those things too where I've always been very detailed, and this was one of those that I'm like, okay, don't detail, be simple, just do it and see what happens with it, and let it finish. And I did that, and it's like, okay, don't add to it, don't do anything more to it, because I will do that. I will go back and go back and go back and keep messing with them.
When we come
So
back,
the thing I'm learning is simplify.
So when we come back, we're going to ask you: do you overthink your art? Hi, I'm Peter from Pikes Peak Recovery Coaching, and as you know, I do help people with drug and alcohol recovery issues. I love to help people get better, but I also offer a variety of other services, including regular life coaching services. I've helped several people write and finish a book. I've helped helped a doctor that was in medical school graduate and then get into a residency. And I also actually have quite a background in mathematics, and I do some math tutoring for the GED as well as the ASVAB for those that are thinking about a career in the military. So my contact information is on the screen. Please send me an email or a text, and we can talk about some of these services and how I can help. That's Peter Grigg at Pikes Peak Recovery Coaching. No.
You all done?
No, I just have it. Welcome back to the third chair.
Yeah,
I'm
here's
Peter.
your answer book.
Thank you.
Answer
He's
book.
done. This is done. We were just asking, do you overthink your art? Because, I think about what's his name? Ross, whatever.
Bob Ross?
Bob Ross.
With the happy trees?
On his Happy Trees. But, if you look at his DVDs and stuff, he gives tremendous detail about how he does every little thing, or at least detail about how to create a painting. But you were also saying that you were trying to sort of do the opposite, like you had too many things going on in your head and you're simplifying it?
Kinda. I always overthink my work. There's no doubt about that. I do that. I can actually walk away from a piece 2 years ago and come back and look at it and go, no, I need to fix this. I need to fix that on it. And I'll do it. I'll honestly go in there and fix it.
Is that
So
overthinking or perfectionism?
It's not professionalism. I think it's overthinking. Because I have a hard time, like you said, walking away from it. Like, I will finish a piece and say, okay, it's going to dry. And an hour later, I'll go back in and look at it and go, oh, no, I can do this, this, and that to it. And then I'll walk away again and then go back an hour later and be like, no, I need to move this here. And I'll do that. And then
I don't think you're alone.
Yeah, I know I'm not alone because I've asked other artists if they do that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, lately I've just been telling myself, hey, just smear this paint and let it sit. And see what happens. And then, in fact, that one, the pumpkin spice one that I did, that was that situation. I was like, smear the paint and let it sit, and let's see what we can do with it simple like that.
Sure. So,
it doesn't have to be a big, splash of something.
So you read a lot. You read fiction books of a certain genre. What genre is that?
I actually read more than one genre.
Oh.
But I like...
How many genres do you read?
I know, right? I do like fantasy romance, or fairy tale romance type stuff.
That's different than Nora Roberts?
I like Nora Roberts because she's got the mystery in the romance. I do like mysteries. I think those are fun.
Okay, I was thinking mysteries.
Yeah.
I guess you are a mystery street.
Like murder mystery type of stuff? Or?
No, more like, kind of, I guess. Kind of like Clue mystery.
Clue mystery?
Kind of like that. But yeah, that's what I pretty much stick to.
Like cozy mysteries or more like Agatha Christie?
Both.
Both.
I like. How about the Hunger Games?
I like Agatha Christie.
I have not read the Hunger Games. It just became too big of a
Harry
trend
Potter?
that I didn't want to. Did not read Harry Potter. I watched the movie.
This is unbelievable.
No, and
I read the Hunger Games, but I did not watch the movies because I said it's a contest to kill other people. And I just didn't want to watch that on the screen.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of
dystopia, future dystopia.
No, I did read all the Twilights.
Oh, no, isn't that like werewolves and vampires killing each other?
Yeah, but there's a lot of
romance.
That's
different.
There's a lot of romance in that, right?
Not completely, but yeah.
Because the young people in my office were reading it, and that's what...
The situation was my daughter was reading it, and I thought, well, I'll read along with her. So we were reading it together.
I had to watch Harry Potter. My daughter made me. I'd fall
asleep
during the movie. I'm a better person for it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
See, you're a good dad.
Yeah, no.
My biggest dilemma, though, is that I will get hooked on books, and I'll get hooked on ones that are series, so, 3, 4, 12 books down the road. And then I get so into that I don't do the art, because the book takes over.
Sure.
So I've actually slowed down on reading a lot lately.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Now, I understand there's a period of time when you would lend some of your movies to one of your friends who never returned them.
Yeah.
Was this true, or is this just a vicious rumor?
Yeah, if you look on the screen and you look to the left of Dawna, you'll see who Still has Castaway.
We pretty much know.
I really enjoyed watching that too.
We pretty much know that if we lend a book or a movie to this person, we're probably not going to see it again.
And usually a pen as well.
But it's not. I mean, it's no big deal.
That's good because
We're friends.
I'm going to give them all back to you someday.
Someday in a big box.
big box.
That's all good.
He's been collecting them and hiding the box every time you come over. Yeah.
He wants
I
to wrap
do-
it and say, "Merry Christmas! I bought you a movie."
Or
But I
50
do
movies.
have that problem though that I just get too hooked on them and then I can't stop and
Series.
I don't do my other stuff.
Sometimes you get into them and then they keep going and going and going, and after a while it's like, you know what, I just stopped caring what the happens to this character
I
now.
had one that it's written like a soap opera, only it's a book. And when you guys know, the audience doesn't, but I had emergency surgery and was off for almost a full month. Well, during that time I was reading this book and I couldn't put it down. I kept reading and reading and reading and reading and it just wouldn't stop. I kept thinking I was getting to an end and it wouldn't stop. And finally I had to do that too.
Oh, wow.
I literally had to just say, I can't do this anymore and push it aside.
Are you asking if we're going on?
Yes.
Oh,
This would be like the end of the episode.
Dawna, if you
there was some confusion.
I was going to say, yeah.
wanted to
Donna's been stuck in
someone
this
wants to
basement for
contact
2
you.
weeks.
We still have time.
Yeah. So
Somebody wants to contact you. How
Yeah,
do you
there
go
you go.
about doing it?
yeah.
Once again, they can find me on Facebook,
Or
which is under Dip Art Studio, or you can find me on Instagram, and my page now is dipart_studio.
beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you.
And just note, I'm a little weary of DMs right now since I've been hacked. So
So does that mean you're not going to answer them?
I'll answer some of them, but there's some red flags out there that you kind of know and watch for.
So make sure that
You're
it's
communicating
personal enough.
clearly and appropriately.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Well, thank you for being here. You did a fantastic job.
Thank you guys.
Please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell icon so you know when our producer
These
has
guys are great to
uploaded
listen to.
uploaded another episode. Good night.